2nd Ezra,
I'm in the
chapter
Orthodox
4,
Bible.
Orthodox
means
Bible.
original. My grandfather was a priest for 40 years, and my grandmother was a righteous woman before God. She lived to that one hundo. Opposition to restoring the temple. Chapter 4, verse 1. Now when those oppressions, Judah's and Benjamin's, heard that the sons of the captivities were building a house to the Lord God of Israel, they approached Zerubbabel and the heads of the fathers' houses, and said to them, We will rebuild with you, for we seek as you do, and we have sacrificed to him since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Assyria, who brought us here. And but Zerubbabel and Jeshaiah and the rest of the heads of the fathers' houses of Israel said to them, It is not for us and you to rebuild a house to our God, for we ourselves will rebuild it to the Lord our God, as King Cyrus, the king of the Persians, commanded us. But the people of the land were weakening in the hands of the people of Judah, and were hindering them from building, and hiring people to work against them to frustrate their purpose all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia. Resistance to rebuilding Jerusalem. Chapter 4, verse 6. In the reign of Ahasuerus, in the beginning of his reign, they wrote a letter against the inhabitants of Judea and Jerusalem. In the days of Artaxerxes and Mithridates and Tabal, along with their fellow servants, they wrote in peace to Artaxerxes, the king of Persia. The one levying tribute wrote a letter, one having been translated from the Syrian language. Rehum, the chancellor, and Shimshah, the scribe, wrote one letter against Jerusalem to the king of Artaxerxes. Thus has judged Rehum, the chancellor, Shimshah, the scribe, and the rest of the fellow servants of the Dianites, and the Arphahites, and the Tarpalians, and the Arphacians, and the Archalians, and of course the Babylonians, the people of Susa, who are Lamanites, and the rest of the nations whom the great and noble Onsnapper sent out to colonize the land, and he resettled them in the city of Samaria, and the rest of them on the other side of the river. This is the substance of the letter they sent to him. To Artaxerxes the king, from your servants the men beyond the river Jordan, let it be known to the king that the Jews coming up from you to us came to Jerusalem, and they are rebuilding this rebellious and wicked city, and repairing its walls, and rising up its foundation. Now let it be known to the king that if that city is rebuilt, and if the walls are restored, you will not collect any taxes, nor will they pay anything. And this wrongs the king. And because of this dishonor of the king, and one not fitting for us to witness, we send this letter to inform the king that a search may be made in the book of the records of your fathers. There you will discover and know that this city is a rebellious city, one that is harmful to kings and provinces, and one having a long-standing history of harboring runaway slaves in the midst of her. It is for this reason the city was destroyed. We therefore point out to the king that if this city is rebuilt and its walls restored, there will be no peace ever. The king sent an answer to Rehum the chancellor, to Shimshah the scribes, to the rest of their companies and companions who dwell in Samaria, and to the reminders beyond the river. Peace. The tax assessors who sent to us was summoned before me, and command was given by me, and we examined for ourselves and found that this city is previously days raised up its oppositions to the king, and that rebellious and desertions take place in it. There have also been mighty kings over Jerusalem, who have ruled over all the regions beyond the river, and tax, tributes, and customs were paid to them. Now give the command to make these men cease, and that this city may not be built until the command is given by me. Take heed now that you do not fail to do this, and why should damage increase to the hurt of the king? Then the tax assessors to King Artaxerxes reads the letter before Rehum the chancellor, Shimshai the scribes, and their companions, and they went up in haste to Jerusalem against the Jews by force of arms, and made them cease. Thus the works of the house of God which is at Jerusalem ceased, and it was discontinued until the second year of the reign of Darius of Persia.